You're watching West Coast Richmond live. This is Friday Night Footy on Fox.
And away we go. The old Eagles jumper from that round one game back in 1987 with the names of the original West Coast Eagles emblazoned across the front. Matt Prentice is the biggie out tonight. The Brownlow medalist out with a groin. Hutchins coming in. Big crowd in at Domain Stadium, as is always the case. Huge night for the Eagles tonight. They're seventh on the ladder with a percentage of 119.62, so in the right spot. 2 wins, 1 loss. And for Richmond, who are 1 and 2, but the percentage of 90.6. So this is vital to just hold on to that race for the top 4 for the Richmond side, even at round 4 of the season. 30 years United. They've been a mighty club, the West Coast Eagles.
Yep.
No doubt about that. They have been one of the great clubs since their inception all those years ago, 1987.
Jack Darwin, it's only 3 weeks, but he's in career best form after he missed the first 10 weeks last year with that foot stress fracture. He's absolutely flying now and really good start to the season.
Sellers, your selection?
Oh, I think West Coast to win comfortably.
Yeah, West Coast comfortably, I think.
West Coast 4 to 5 goals.
And it's on here early. Jack's in, going straight up to Nick Natanui, getting right into him.
He's well out of his weight class here,
but Jack's doing something. That's good
something.
Start.
Well, let's just quickly to the lab, boys. Your tip. We'll come back to it in a few moments' time. The game's underway. Let's go on Friday Night Footy.
Right bounce to Hampson up high, taps it down. Grigg kicks it down towards half forward. Buckler in the road. Now Hearn drives a long one down towards half forward. Read off the boot brilliantly by Velostone, just drifting back and taking the mark on his chest. Give it across to McIntosh. Ellis. Now Hunt running into a dead end. Menadue. Still they work it. They take some risks, and Hunt finishes up with a kick down towards half forward. Shepherd came over the top. Hunt dragged down, but he did follow up. Now it's Grigg off balance, fires it out to Mutton, and they rebuild.
Lambert then, kick the first. Finds Lloyd, who's been busy. He's had a good start to the season also, so they're just held up now for a moment. Not really what they wanted, and certainly didn't want that call. McKenzie got it. Grigg was called for not 15. So LaCroix from the wing, beautiful kick. Hill did not have to change stride. A little jump at the end, and it was a perfect delivery. Wasn't it a perfect kick? So 4 goals from his 3 games so far. Hill starts it right, lets the breeze bring it back left, and the Eagles have got there first.
This is where the Eagles have slowed them down so far, Baz. They've been getting into this position here, and they're so good at shutting you down now, the Eagles.
And there's not a lot to go to, so it's the long kick not quite down the line, but certainly not to a particularly attacking position. Free kick there now. The whistle is West Coast way, and the advantage has been paid. I'm not sure Shuey wanted the advantage, but I tell you what, the kick was perfect to Yo. Onto his chest, sliding down. Plays on quickly. Duggan's got it.
Almost holding your breath when Richmond are trying to come out of defence.
Got it from Nelson. High ball, close to the boundary line. Rance tried to kill it. It's going to be a mark in front, chopping at the arms. Yo getting the free kick. Too far out to score. Wheels around 75 metres out. Mind you, that sweet contact that goes to the square and over the top Lysette. Well, sometimes you've got to know the capabilities of your teammates, and that was a beautiful kick. Must have gone all of 60.
You want the ruckman when he's resting forward to be able to take marks like that.
He's coming along nicely too. 14 possessions, 7 marks last week. Up and comer. The Eagles stretch their lead.
Well, it's a balance here because we're talking about quick movement, but it doesn't have to be all handball. At the moment, they've had 20 more disposals than West Coast, but 80% of the game's been in the West Coast forward half, so too much use of the handball.
Martin, incorrect disposal.
It's the Eagles, they're in your face though. Every time Richmond players get a possession in that back line, the Eagles are in your face, and it forces you to flip off another handball. It's been great pressure.
Hutchings back in the side. He played in last year's grand final. On the lead. Wonderful mark, Darling. In the hands, if you don't mind. Nick Velostone thought he was there. He got the closure in the last couple of steps, but he couldn't jar the ball free, and now Darling kicks the goal. So the West Coast Eagles are rolling. Little chip to right half back and Ellis. They're not convincing coming out now. Early on, they were rolling the dice, but just for the moment, they've become stagnant. Plays on. Hesitates. Sure, not 15. Well, have to step it out of training. Still, they're kicking it to Martin, who's pretty good. He repelled Borders. Now a chance for Cochin after the Ellis kick. In trouble and dragged down Gloucestone. Could be holding it. Rolls across to Marston. Marston gave it to Shuey. Look away hand pass taken by Hearn, the captain. Across the body and Lacroix. Pretty lucky. Read it well.
Lucky with where the kick ended up, you're right, Dan, but this is, and he plays on Mark Lacroix across the goal to Lewis Jetta. Touch play on.
The kick from Jetta goes through for a goal.
That's a symptom of the Eagles. They're in your face. You look up and they're right there. That's why they're flipping handballs around. It's been outstanding from the Eagles.
Menadue goes down. Man on the mark is standing about 35 metres out. Shuey coming off a fine season. I think from memory kicked the first goal of the grand final. And this one is good. So the Eagles ominous.
Hampson's got a pretty good corky going on, I reckon, at the moment too, on his left thigh. So it's going to be a long night.
Oh, Chaplin in trouble. By called play on, the hand pass has gone out. Chaplin is having a bit to say. With a boundary throw in.
Hunt's got it. And again, this is where they've really got no space to operate in. So again, it's the kick. The numbers West Coast Wales. Though Lycett may have given away a free kick he has. So Hampson gets one back. Hampson wastes no time. That's better. Down the line. Terrific mark. Flying high, Brad Shepherd.
That sort of kick with no power on it. It was a sitting duck. Lycett controlled it well to his own advantage. Gaff bundled out of it. Greg, Edwards, Slick. Moore goes after it. Well played by Butler. Shuey. Marston. Butler once more hard against the boundary line. Good kick along the line. Yo in space. Takes off. 30 seconds to play in the term. Touched off the boot. Now Darling's got it. Turns around. Not sure what he was trying there. Goes after the footy. Now he's got a problem. Tackled by a couple. McIntosh was one of them. Knocks it out of the pack. Hearn has it. He's on his left foot, Gaff. Did he conjure something here, Gaff? Get out of my way, Lacroix, he says. Hooks it back towards full forward. And Darling takes the mark. Brief time, the Tigers were playing some good footy to start this term, but it's been all the West Coast Eagles since. Darling comes in, and this one is through. That's a big lead after one quarter on Friday Night Football. The West Coast Eagles are 44, and the Tigers are 12. The Tigers with a lot to do.
Baz, those first two inside 50, you could see the wind taking effect. There is a breeze heading easterly on this ground tonight.
Margin 33 points. Shepherd flies from behind and juggles the mark. Long memories, the crowd booing Vickery. An incident a couple of years ago, at least. Dean Cox might have been three. This is Hearn, close to the boundary.
The coach did refresh their memories this week, though, Dan.
Yeah, he did it with his smile, but it's a strange thing to do. Nelson gave it to Schofield. This is Gaff. He's at left half back. Short one, element of danger. No. Shuey got the separation, loops it back. Schofield sustained his run. So did Gaff. Gaff comes down the line, pinpoint over the chest of Kennedy. They're looking very sharp, the West Coast Eagles. It's ominous for the Tigers. Kennedy to space. Lacroix. What a beautiful kick. Could well be 50. But not in time. Well, Lacroix kicks another one for the Eagles. So the rampage continues.
Last year, no worries. This year, it's pinned.
Just needed to make it look as though he was trying at least. He probably had the momentum, was going to carry him over the line anyway, but got to make it look as though you're trying to keep it in.
It's come to that, hasn't it? Shakespeare got it right. We're all actors. Ball comes up towards the wing. Slapped out of there by Lacroix cleverly. Dug it brilliantly. And then the finish. Lovely. Cripps hard against the boundary line to the pocket, going back Yo with courage. Some big bodies coming up behind. And he didn't blink an eye. So Yo, slow to get up, but he's got the footy. He's kicked three behind so far, 2 in what, 3 minutes?
Similar to Sandilands last week, very similar.
Oh. Magnificent kick, exquisite.
kick coming out. Gaff to Redden. Went through Redden's hands. Here's Gaff again. Thumping kick. He got it from Shepherd. Kept it low. Kennedy. Full stretch. Top of the arc. Hands above his head. Brilliant mark.
It's a surgical kick, isn't he, Andrew Gaff?
It keeps coming down. You're eventually going to get a few.
Interesting, back in round 2, the Hawks were very much on top of Gaff. He was a priority, wasn't he?
Yep.
2 behinds tonight for the Coleman medalist, and now he's got his opening goal, and West Coast have their 9th.
Nui is just running into him every time that centre bounce.
Hutchings didn't have the ball. Mark Hutchings directly in front then. Nice kick. Eagles push further ahead.
And that's not even perceived pressure. That's just real lack of confidence, not being able to hit a target from there.
Moore had a fly at it, didn't touch the footy. Nat Nui, it bounced off his head. He got the footy back, gives it to Marston. Here they come again, West Coast. Darling pushed out, Hill waiting. Might be a free for Darling. Been around a long time, Butler. Played in the 06 grand final, was there again last year. A high ball. Kennedy. Nice set flew as well. Corey Ellis gets the kick out.
Guys, call it. It's a free kick. It's a free kick. Free kick has been paid. Come on, guys. Keep it cool.
So it's a free kick for Richmond, is it?
50 metres and report for striking.
And now reported for striking. So that was done from light set. The umpire said free kick's been paid.
I'll let you know.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'll tell you what he's thinking, Tim. Round 18, 2014.
That's the spot. You called it perfectly.
Maybe the wrong name for it. Sufficient force, maybe.
Schofield.
So gets around Chaplin on the mark and did that really nicely to Mackenzie, who just lays the ball up. Rance did well. Knocks it down to McIntosh. And a high ball towards the wing. Revolt got up high very early. Didn't touch the footy, so it was always going to be a free kick. McGovern with the footy on his birthday. 24 today to Hearn, and now Butler. And they set up again, the West Coast Eagles. Gaff with 2:22 on the clock. Such a good kick of the football. Finds Shuey on his chest, outer side. Shuey can keep running, and Shepherd provides the support. Again, loose man is on. All of this virtually uncontested for the West Coast Eagles. Richmond haven't looked like getting their hands on the footy, and again, back to McGovern, who started it all off from Redden. So really good controlled use of the football and finished off with that. Yo jumps high, kick was spot on, hands perfect.
Vickery, very conscious of Nat Nui. Greg, clean run at the football. Lloyd had it momentarily. Clever hand pass by Lambert. Corey Ellis. Now here's a chance for Lloyd. Centering ball. Surrounded is Chaplin. And lurking at the back, the mark is taken by Hearn. And that will be the last action of the term. Short one comes to Marston. It's half time on Friday Night Football, and the West Coast Eagles have been emphatic so far.